Congratulations for joining us in the Market Insight Virtual Summit. I'm so glad to see you here today. Stay to the end of the training and I'll send you a 30-page report called Winning Trading Strategy. So stay to the end of the video and I'll email this free report to you.
Hello?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Good. Thanks so much for doing this interview.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I see you clearly.
Okay, good. First thing first, happy birthday to you.
I'm fine, actually. I'm feeling great.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Is it your birthday today?
What?
Is it your birthday today?
Yes, it is.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you.
Let's wish him happy birthday. Can you all?
Thank you. And when's your birthday?
My birthday is on July, 15th of July.
Okay. Well,
Yeah. So you can hear me?
yeah, I hear you.
Okay, good. So maybe people coming up into the event, maybe I just do a short introduction of Larry. Okay, Larry was best known to found Mint Investment. He was one of the forefather of trading system, a pioneer in trend following. In 1988, his average return was over 30%. Okay, by 1990, he was one of the largest. No, he was the largest at that time in 1990. With 1 billion of assets under management. Hello.
Well, I am
Yes.
one of the first. But I wasn't the only one. People have been using that kind of stuff
Okay.
since Egyptian times. Really? I
Yes.
mean, all you're doing is following the crowd.
Okay.
And you're trying to get where are people going?
Okay.
And why?
Okay.
But the why could be totally wrong. But if enough people vote, that's where the price goes.
Understand. So tell me, how do you get started in trading?
I got it. Well, in this book that I wrote, because I wrote a book.
Yes.
I did something quite interesting.
Okay.
I had a very sort of a tough childhood in that I was dyslexic and blind.
Okay.
In one eye.
Okay.
So most of the stuff that, as I grew up, I aspired to mediocrity. If I could just be normal.
Okay.
Right? I was the last person chosen for any baseball team, and I was a terrible student. So I had to figure out, how am I going to make a living? Because I came from a family where the younger people are supposed to take care of the older people.
Okay.
So I had my father, my mother, 2 grandmothers. So those people, it was my responsibility. My father said I would do it. Terrible bet. I mean, the worst bet. I don't know, maybe he must have been delusional. And then I was looking around for how I would do this. And what I like about numbers is they're clear. You know what I mean? Like 2 and 2 makes 4 all the time. And that was very important to me. Because most of the time when you read financial stuff, especially letters and stuff like that, they put in their opinion. Look, I have bought the bottom of markets. I have sold the top of the markets.
Okay.
And if you think that's because I knew anything, you're totally wrong. Nobody knows that stuff. Maybe very short-term traders know it. But in general, and in America, we have a list of the 400 richest people.
Okay.
And what you see in that list is that very few of them are traders.
Okay.
So I said, well, why would that be? So I always look at calamities and surprises, right?
Okay.
How did somebody get really rich? And I made a study of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I found out that you could see it. You could see it coming. I was once doing a favor for a friend of mine in Cleveland.
Okay.
And he was taking over a chain of drugstores. So I asked the head of the family, who was worth $50 million, and I said, well, you've come down from 50 to 20. I said, what did you do between 50 and 20?
Uh-huh.
I mean, that took a long time.
Yes.
He said, what do you mean? It was my store. I know how the stores work. But I said, the price was coming down. You saw it every day. He said, well, I figured, but it was your money. I think it's very important to people to understand it's your money. It's no one else's. You know what I mean? So your job is to take care of your money now because it's yours. It's not Morgan Stanley's. It's not Chase. It's not. It is your money. So you have to set how much you're willing to lose. You just have to do it. If you don't do it, you're going to be killed.
Is there a rule for you, like how many percent from the entry price you will exit? Is there a rule?
There's a rule is basically I don't like to lose more than 10%. And I just don't. I put it in a stop. What I loved about the markets is you get to choose what you want. Nobody can take it from you. So you choose. And as a business, it's a very cheap business to get in. You need a computer, which is now dirt cheap. You need some data, which is not all that expensive. Compare that to any other business. Like I'm looking out my window. I live on Central Park South, but my back window faces buildings. Now, when you go to put up a construction building, you have to buy the land before you see a penny. Then, even when you want to sell, that could be months. Right? I buy the S&P. I go in and I buy the S&P. I can buy as much as I want, right on the futures. And when I want to get out, I can get out fast.
Okay.
What I call those are your. I used to study game theory.
Okay.
And the thing about game theory, if you're playing poker, are you the first person to bid, or are you the last? And you get to choose when you're going to play. You get to choose how you're going to play. You might have a mixture of futures and options. You choose all that, and you get that the day you walk in the game. You don't have to, to put up a building in New York is a big deal. You have to have lawyers. You have to get government permissions.
Yes.
It's a big deal. No, I'm sitting here talking to you. I could be playing the market.
Understand.
And nobody's going to ask me what color I am, if I'm fat, skinny, black, white, Chinese, or whatever.
Okay.
They don't know me. I don't know that they know my money.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
for-
How about
and-
the psychology part? Like when you lose money, when your friend saw the investment going from 50 to 25 or something like that, the person may get emotional over it. They do not want to cut loss. This trading is something very psychological. So how do you overcome that psychology part of?
because you can do this thousands of times. Any technical trader can go and see. Right? Now, I wrote a book called The Rule.
Yes.
And The Rule is based on, do you know who David Ricardo is?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, David Ricardo was an interesting story. His family had to flee because they were Jewish. They had to flee Spain. So they wind up in London, and they had money because his father was a kind of a big broker.
Okay.
So he's 15 years old. He goes to work for his father.
Okay.
And he's got a knack for it.
Okay.
He looks at the money. And his rule is cut your losses fast. Let your winners run.
Yes.
Now, Larry Hite's rule is a little different. Larry Hite's rule is cut your losses fast and add to your winners.
Okay. So, yes. So, in my theory, is buy more when you're correct and sell quickly if you're wrong. Is that right?
Right. Exactly.
Exactly.
And that was, and I look at, and by the way, it goes for everything. Are you married?
Yes. I have 3
Okay.
kids. Yeah.
Okay. I will bet you.
Yeah.
You had a lot of girlfriends, but you only chose one to marry.
Yes.
Like trading,
Mm-hmm.
right? Maybe she didn't like you. You didn't like her. You moved on to the next thing.
Correct.
When you look at a board of trades, you have all these selections. You can go to the best, you can go to the worst, you have information of some sort, but you know what you're going to do.
Okay.
And today, you could put it on a computer.
Mm-hmm.
And if you have enough, everybody has drawdowns.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody. The only person that didn't have a drawdown is Bernie Madoff. Yeah, yeah, right. So couldn't happen. So and people feel bad about themselves. Oh, he must know something we don't know. Blah blah blah. But it's not true. He was a thief.
Yeah.
So you have all these selections, right? Look, I used to live in Greenwich Village, right?
Okay.
And I'm there, and there's a girl going to jump out of a window.
Oh.
So there's 2 guys. So I'm there, and another guy's there, because we both kind of do what we want when we want to do it. And we talked this girl off the ledge.
Okay.
Me and him. His name was Harry D. Nice guy.
Okay.
But I always was late to come, stay late, and late to come, but stay late. Kind of, that's what I did.
Okay.
And so I get to meet Harry, and we become friends. And I noticed that virtually every day, Harry and I are leaving at the same place. He's working his way through law school. And I said, Harry, I don't get it. Where do you get all these beautiful girls? They were really knockouts.
Okay.
He said, Larry, it's very simple.
Mm.
I go in and I see a beautiful girl
Okay.
and I say, hi, my name's Harry. You don't know me, I don't know you. Let's have coffee.
Okay.
In public restaurant. It says 1 out of 10 go to coffee. 1 out of 10 they go to coffee wind up sleeping in my bed.
Okay. So it's a rule of numbers.
So there it was. I wasn't married. I said, shit, this is great. I got to test this out. It's math. I understand math.
It's a
Right?
math probability.
And I went out and I tried it. And it was true. It actually was true that law of numbers work for you.
Yes.
Look, today is my birthday.
Yes. Happy birthday again.
I'm 79 years old. But I don't know, this works in everything in life.
Okay.
Really and truly. I mean, and I read a lot of David Ricardo, and this is the only thing this guy said about trading.
Okay.
He went on Malthus and other people and started modern economists.
Okay.
I mean, you know, but the only line that he said was that rule.
Mm.
And I find that rule works in everything. There was a guy I know, a friend of mine, named Johnny Katz. And Johnny Katz said the smartest guy he ever taught was this kid. I forget what his name. And he wound up in Kentucky. And what he did was pinhook. You don't know what pinhooking is. I didn't know what pinhooking is. It was buying a foal, buying a horse in foal.
Okay.
So I made the guy lay out his whole track record for me.
Okay.
I said, I want to see where the numbers were. Well, I did it, and you know what it looked like? It looked like a commodity trading track record. That's exactly what. 5% of the trades of most trend followers make 95%.
Okay. So you have losers, and then you have one big winners.
Yeah.
Cut loss, and then one right the big trend.
Look, I've been doing this for a lot of years.
Yes. Before I was born.
And before you were born. You're right.
Yes.
And guess what I found? I had drawdowns. Every time I had a drawdown, I came out of that drawdown and I made more money than I made before.
Mm.
So I was walking down the street with my friend Stephen.
Okay.
And you remember what it was like to be 14, 15,
Yes.
Get it. And there was like this raggedy woman, and I don't know why Stephen decided he'd pitch her. I have no idea why. She tells him to fuck off.
Okay.
So we're now walking, we're still walking down the block,
Okay.
and this limousine pulls up,
Okay.
and this gorgeous young girl, a blonde.
Okay.
And I say, hi, Larry Hite, and she just walks away. My friend laughs his ass off. He's laughing like it. I said, no, Stevie, you got this really wrong. Look at it. We both got a no.
Yes.
But she was rich. She was beautiful. If you went and got that old lady, you'd have the stiff.
Yes.
If I got her, so we both got a no. But I went to a place where yes could have been fabulous.
Yes.
You're gonna go to this ragged lady. So you gotta understand what I will get you. I will tell you the secret of being rich.
Okay.
You gotta think about that. all the time. That's the goal you made. I studied television journalism, and I got a job at a newspaper.
Mhm.
It was my first job out of college, and I found out that my boss didn't really make a lot of money, and I quit the next day because I wasn't going to get where I wanted to go.
So you were always thinking of how to get
I
rich.
didn't want. I wanted to get rich. That is what I would. And because it's only that 5% that count.
Okay.
I don't care whose track records are, they don't. It's 5% are the big winners, and so you and it runs through life. It's why I asked you how many girls you think did you know, and how many girls did you marry?
Lots of girls, but only one married.
What?
Only one that's married.
Yeah. So
Yes.
you just have to say, hey, what am I getting? And you're not gonna win all the time. Never win with your children. Like because you had them and they spent their entire life learning how to read you, right? Because that's how they learn. So they got, and you love them. They're your children. So but most of the time, especially in America and in Australia, if I was going to move out of the United States, I would move to Australia.
Okay, so coming back to trading, like when how do you know it's a winner? What is your benchmark? I know, how do you look at loser? Loser is like 10% down, maybe it's for you a loser.
Yeah.
Who is a winner?
I don't know.
Okay.
But I know that stuff can happen.
Okay.
And where it can happen. Look, it makes a 52-week high. Okay. Right? Mm-hmm. We know something.
Okay.
It is, if got there, something must be happening.
Yes.
I don't know what. I'm not an accountant. Okay. I'm a speculator. The people everybody hates, but it makes me good money.
Yes.
Look, I came from an apartment where there were 3 rooms, my mother, father, and me. I now live on Billionaires Row.
Okay.
So I knew that I had to make money. Okay. And then I had to make money that I get to keep. Because in Wall Street, make a deal with a Wall Street firm, and you make a lot of money, they say, well, we really can't pay you that money now, but you're doing well. Next year. Ken Tropin once told me a story. He made a deal with some big firm, and he did exactly what he told them he was going to do. And they were bought by some big department store, I forget which one. And they said to him, well, Ken, yes, technically we should be writing you a $2 million check. Okay. But we really can't do that. We can't, because it would mess up our payment schedules to all the other people who work, and they're going to know, why didn't they get it? Well, the simple question, they didn't get it because they didn't make the money.
Understand.
Right? That was a bullshit answer.
Yes.
And I think you've got to have discipline, and you've got to know what you're doing. I've gone through 30% drawdowns like everybody else. I just start all over.
And you keep going.
Because the game wins. It's like, when you go into a casino, I've only been in a casino twice in my life. Mm-hmm. All the games are rigged against you.
Yes.
right? There are people figuring out so that you can come close to your number on the slot machine. It's just off by once. And when people get into that psychologically, damn, I almost had it. I'm going to go back and put more money in.
Yes.
And until you understand what you're there for, right, you're not going to go anywhere. You know, I know, you know who Edge is?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
You were together with systematic trading, right?
Right.
Yes.
I he was a friend of mine.
Okay.
So I called, and I was in a very bad way, and I called Ed, and I said, Mary called and said I was coming. And he said to me, fabulous guy, a really fabulous guy. And he said, well, it's really simple. Buy them when they go up, sell them when they go down, and watch your money. That's it. That's the whole deal. Nothing more than that.
Yes.
So if you don't have that psychological head, if you're, some people love to win. And the number of times they win is important to them.
Okay.
Me, don't mean shit to me. Because I say, how much did I win?
Okay.
Right? If I'm right a lot, maybe I have a small ego and I say, yeah, you know, I win a lot. Hey, I'm smart. No, you ain't smart till you get the money.
Correct.
It's that simple. I could win. I did tests on the computer. Well, I did it. Guy named Michael Delman did the test. I didn't know. I still don't know how to turn on a computer. Well, I wouldn't say that because everybody.
You are the godfather of systematic trading.
Well, everybody has. See this computer?
Yes.
This is a computer. It has more power than the first computer built in London. More power. I mean, this is incredible.
Yeah.
So you gotta have that goal, you know, and the goal is, what do you want? And then you're gonna find the way to get it.
Okay.
And that's what Dakota did. I knew another guy who forget his name, but he also had a trading system.
Okay.
But so the head of the department said to him, I wish I remember his name, but I don't. Said to him, whatever his name was, Bob or something. Bob, you're not trading potatoes.
Okay. What do you mean?
And he says, well, yeah, I'm not trading potatoes. He says, I don't have a signal.
Okay.
Week later, his boss came to him and said, Bob, I don't know if you heard me. You're not trading potatoes. I have a seat on the potato score, one of the things we pay for, and you're not using it.
Oh, okay.
Okay?
Okay.
He said, you know what? Fuck off, I'm leaving. That's what he said. I don't give a shit. I'm leaving. If you don't let me run my system, I'm going to take my clients, I'm gone.
Yeah.
Then he made a fortune in gold. I mean, serious money. Made it in silver, too. See, because there were two guys with different intention. The guy that running the office, whatever he was running, he wanted to keep his job.
Okay.
The other guy wanted to make money.
Yes.
I mean, so it's very important that you know what you want.
Yeah.
People, look, I think my mother, like a lot of Jewish mothers, would have thrown herself under the subway if I would have been a doctor. Oh, it was the greatest thing. An immigrant Jew. Well, you know what? I wouldn't want to be a doctor. Doctors got to show up.
Yeah.
I've been sitting here talking to you, and I don't have to show up. I may show up to you, to the meeting, but it doesn't matter. Doctors are going to get killed. I mean,
Yes.
I have a good friend of mine. I mean, think about it. In America, a doctor pays a lot of money for insurance. He has to get all those equipment, and he's got to build a reputation.
Understand.
I don't have to build a reputation.
Because you
Normal-
get the reputation.
but that wasn't my point. My point was to get the money.
Yes.
And I could do
What?
a lot of what I want. I live where I want, do what I want, when I want, and how I want it.
So,
You know, do you know who Harold Janine was?
sorry?
Harold Janine.
Sorry, I don't know.
No, he ran ITT.
Okay.
Major.
Okay.
For some reason, he invited me out because he had polio, and a friend of mine, Danny Rosenblum, had polio, and he became an enormously powerful man. And we're having a nice lunch, right? And now he's like one of the major people in America, right? And I'm having lunch with him, right? So he says to me, you know, Larry, buying companies ain't like going to the movies. Now, I'm 30.
Okay.
He's the head of one of the major companies in America and maybe the world, right? And I look at him, I said, Harold, what does that mean?
Yes, I also don't know what that means.
What does it mean? He said, Larry, you go to the movies, you pay your ticket,
Okay.
and you'll see to the end of the movie, right? That's it. You pay your ticket. He says, when I buy companies, I don't do that. I want to know how it's going to end before I buy. And I know.
So you know the exit first.
Right. What I know is I play the law of large numbers. So I might have lost on that trade, but I've done so many trades that I know that my win is that 5% makes up for all those things. So because I was blind, one eye, very bad in the other eye, because I wasn't a good athlete, because I wasn't a good student, I'm used to losing.
Okay.
It doesn't bother me. It's nothing to me. Right?
Okay.
So I'm just saying, I know from doing thousands of years of runs, I know how it's going to come out in the end. I've had 30% drawdowns. I try not to have them, but they're there. Okay. It's like what's happening in the world.
Understand.
In the world, we have this disease, and people will die. But people die in car accidents all the time.
So you just need to try it more and more and more until you get that big run, right?
Yeah, but I know what it is because I did the work of looking back over years.
There's back testing, right? You're doing
back testing. Yeah, yes. Because I wanted to see what I was going to get over a long period of time. Not because this is a great trade. Sometimes I actually found great trades. I mean, like one day, I was looking at a friend of mine showed me two lines.
Okay.
One was coffee,
Mhm.
and the price of coffee was going down.
Okay.
The other line was consumption of coffee, and that was going up.
Okay.
That can't happen.
Yeah.
Think about it. I mean, you can't have something that they're selling more and more, and the price keeps going down. I said, eventually, this guy. Then I went and I read a history of the history of coffee market.
Okay.
And look at where coffee's grown. Coffee is mostly grown in very dangerous places, right?
Yeah.
Where there are revolutions, dictatorships, and very tough weather. There were hurricanes, there were fires, there were droughts, right? So I looked at this coffee and I said, this has really got to happen. There's no doubt in my mind. It wasn't trend following. It was actually the opposite.
Okay.
And what I did was, I happened to be making some pretty good money. So I said, I'm going to spend $1 million, but in a funny way. I'm going to divide it up into $250,000 4 shots.
Okay.
And over the next year, that's what I'm going to do.
So you buy a few times, 4 times.
4 up. Well, I didn't get to do that because on the second lap, coffee went through the roof. Went from, so I'm traveling with my wife. We're bicycling through France, and my wife walks in. I'm in the, if you bicycle 30 miles a day and you're 40 years old, you try to stretch out and she walks in with a phone. I'm in the tub. She said, "This is for you," with some guy from London. Guy said, "Larry, you made $2 million. Should I take the profit?" I said, "Fuck no. Leave it there." Then friends of mine began to call me and say, "Larry, you have $4 million. I said, "No, let the trend go."
Yeah.
And it got to $6 million. And I had calls. It was the dumbest move. I could have went short against those calls, and I would have had all the ride down. But I come from a family where no one had $6 million ever in the history of the family.
Okay.
So I took my profit and said, okay, bad move because I could have probably added another 8. But I did not care what people said. See, people, you know why people are short-term traders? Do you know why?
Don't know. They want the thrill.
They want that, but what's the first thing you have to do to live?
What's the first thing you need? Breathe.
Yeah. Outside of breathing, what is the first thing? You stop breathing, it's over.
Yeah.
But what's the first thing that you got to do? Everybody.
What's the first thing you'd rather do?
No, have to do. You don't eat.
Eat, okay.
Right? So people are used to eating.
Okay.
Really. And if you look at it, the eating habit is very strong. You could probably go 100 days and not eat. You can't go 7 days and then have water.
Yeah.
So if you look at ancient times, every animal has to eat.
Yes.
So when you go out in Africa in a tribe, you go out with a group, you kill the animal, you eat what you can, and you travel the rest back. Right?
Okay.
And that's what people are about. That's why Odin couldn't figure out why I look at 10,000 trades, probably from Charles, what's his name, in California, why people sold their winners and kept their losses.
Okay.
He couldn't, Terrence O'Dee's a pretty smart guy. I know why. I can tell you exactly why. It's one, people feel good when they
Yes.
take those profits.
Yeah.
Right? Because they want to win.
Yes.
Me, I don't want to lose.
Okay.
So I get rid of I don't know where this book is, but it's called The Rule. I don't want to be there. I don't want to wait.
Okay.
I'll come back. See, look at the markets. It's a movable game.
Okay.
Right? I mean, it's there.
Mm-hmm.
So if I get out today and it starts up, I go back.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So that's it. That's it. That's why, because we're used to eating. That's the only reason why wolves became dogs.
Wolf became dogs, okay? Because the
little children fed them. Right? So they became very friendly with human beings.
Okay.
And as you train them, they're more attached because the human beings get them the water, get them the food.
Okay.
And that's why I cut my losses and I add to my winners.
Understand.
And if you look at the people who got really rich, they do that. You don't see many traders on that list of 400 because they're not there for the big money. They're for, and it's a battle. Yeah, I didn't have that problem because I never wanted anything, so it didn't matter. And that's what I'm telling your people, the guys and women who are doing this. That's the secret. And the great thing about the market, you can always come back.
Okay.
I know I've done it, but that's the rule. That's the secret sauce.
How much of this, right, that you are sharing right now, how much of this help you to become the largest hedge fund in the world? How is it everything, or is there any other things that is useful beside riding your winners, cutting your losses? Is there any other things that is
no
you the biggest hedge fund in the world?
Yeah, no.
Any other things?
No, that I also looked at a balance sheet of how much money I had in reserve.
Okay.
So it was time of high interest rates. So I made a guaranteed fund.
Okay.
And I did 30% a year when I was running it, made 30%. Yes. So it was a great deal for people.
Yes.
But it was that salespeople that we had, but it was sticking to the winners and getting out of the losers. And you see that in business. In America, this is obviously your first marriage by your looks and age. You pick somebody because you think you can make a life with them, or they're gorgeous. I'm very lucky. I always I had two marriages. One died, and my present wife is really gorgeous and smart. But I always ask myself, could I live with this person?
Okay.
So my thing is, certain things, you're going to have arguments, right? Just just like a trend line, right? And really, you can actually check it, you know. But the most important thing, that's why, I don't even have the book here, but
The book
yeah,
is at the corner here.
yeah, but that's the rule.
Okay.
Nobody gets to be really rich
Okay.
without sticking to that rule.
Understand.
If you don't go and do this,
Okay.
you'll never ever get really rich.
Okay.
Now, I don't really care, but I wrote the book, interestingly enough, for my children, because I wanted to show them, even a schmegegi like me, who slept in late, was terrible in school, could do very well. So you can, but you don't do well trying to pick up pennies in front of moving trains.
Like the options, sometimes all those option sellers, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, option sellers or whatever. And the good option sellers, and I've known a few. They know when to cut out.
Yes.
They do that.
Yeah.
Staying with losers. Sometimes I had a friend of mine, and he wanted to become a rich industrialist. I actually met him in a commodity trading company, right? It was really a terrible company, but he and I were there and being friends. But he wanted to be a major player, which he did become. Now, he bought broken company. And when he went into the factory to buy him, there was another guy with him. And every time, and what this guy had in his office, in his pocket, was a clicker. And every time he passed a machine that he knew he could sell for $1,000 or $50,000, the guy would click it. So he knew that worst comes to worst, he didn't care about the business. He was going to make a profit on just ripping it up. And he'd try and make it work. Some of them worked fabulously, became multi. He was my first friend who had his own private jet. But see, he was starting at a different spot. He was starting at what he could liquidate it for.
So what's the worst case scenario?
Yeah. But he knew he was buying it so cheap he would make money.
Yeah. So it's like what we call a low risk idea. Something like.
Yeah. It was because he counted.
Yes.
I mean, he counted. So that's why the rule, and I wanted to teach my children who had the disadvantage of having a rich father, because they didn't have to do it. I mean, they didn't need things. They did things that they really liked. I happen to love what I do. I just love it. Oh, another rule that I will tell you, if you don't like it, don't do it. Nobody gets good unless they put in the work. And see, I could tell you, I never worked a day in my life. I did what was fun to me. I love talking about trading. I love to talk to people who do it. And because it is fun, you can sit at home. I mean, seriously, when I was building my fund, I traveled a lot because people wanted to see who made this fund.
Yeah.
And that was fun too, because there I was seeing the world and making a lot of money.
Okay.
It's, but that's really the story. If you don't know your risks and always keep some trades go further than anybody thinks. It's really true. From 60 cents to $3.05. That's a hell of a trade. I mean, that's several times any money. And since we use so little leverage, and I happen to do it, the only place I could do it was London.
Okay.
And they had these, and boy, turned out I was aiming for $1.50.
Okay.
Because I see it hit $1.50 a lot. I said, and then it kept going. And I was smart enough to understand.
So you write your winners. If you're correct, you manage to.
The market tells you something.
And you hang on to the winners. There's one person asking, is there any rules when you are choosing stock to trade? Do you trade stocks in the first place, or are you mainly doing futures?
No, I do trade stocks all the time. Okay. Same rules.
What kind of, do you have any rules when you come to trading stocks?
Yeah. I check where it's going.
Okay.
I see you can't, in a lot of stocks actually have some good points. It's all certified. They can't really they can screw around with things, but it's all certified. You don't know how a crop's going to turn out.
I understand.
I was with a friend of mine, and we had this little fund, him and me, and so we decided, after we made some money in pork bellies, why not trade corn? Okay. No, he knew something about that. Well, there was supposed to be a drought. A drought all through the Midwest. And we bought corn and we sold corn. Two contracts. Where we bought the older version and we sold the newer version. Well, what happened was, because of the drought, the drought changed into a huge rainstorm all over. So the deal that I was long went down the limit.
Oh.
The other thing, the new one, went up the limit.
Oh no.
So I lost on both sides of a hedge.
Oh
That's
no.
Pretty hard.
Yes.
So I was working in a place called Hedge. Okay. And I was a young guy. And I went into a staircase. Okay. I got down on my knees. I said, God, I don't mind losing the money. Please don't give me a debit. Now, down the staircase comes these guys from Switzerland. Okay. They run the Swiss office. They look at me. I'm in a suit, tie, and I'm praying. Okay. So they said, are you all right? I said, oh, yeah, I'm just resting. It's a funny story. What am I telling them? And I got out of that, and I made money. Okay. But I thought maybe this is going to be, a debit. Not only did I lose the money I put up, but I owe more. Yeah. And so it's a funny story, But you don't know with crops.
Mm-hmm.
You don't really know. You actually know, for instance, that Facebook
Yep.
is going to make money. People use Facebook all the time. You
Yes.
know that Amazon,
Yes.
right? I mean, you could see the sale.
Yes. Right. Yeah.
So you have some things in stocks that are much easier to understand, but
Okay.
you still got to figure out a way that you won't get harmed. Because you got to always ask yourself, what could kill you? And if you don't know what's going to kill you, you're going to have a problem.
Okay. So always think of worst case scenario, something like that.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I get to pick my worst. See,
Okay.
all commodity traders, all
Okay.
stock traders,
Uh,
pick the entry. You know, it's like being a gorilla.
okay.
You wouldn't remember this, but the United States, for political reasons, went to war in Vietnam.
Yeah.
That was a very strange place. 80% or 90% of the country were Buddhists.
Okay. Vietnam.
The other 10% were Catholic. You know, and so they made their deals. They made the deals with the French. I mean, you know, America decided that they were going to free the communist version. Well, this is my last picture I saw of Vietnam, and it looked like this. There's the Americans leaving, struggling onto helicopters, right? And leaving billions of dollars worth of ordnance, right?
Yeah.
Coming down the road are these guys barefoot, right? They're barefoot, men and women barefoot. Some had guns, some didn't, and they were the winners.
Okay.
The United States was the loser.
Okay.
The most powerful army in the world. We spend 25% of our budget. We lost. So, you know, things happen. We actually lost the war. I don't think we should have even gone to the war.
Yeah.
But because there were, if you read further, Ho Chi Minh, he liked him. He put parts of the American legal system in his country. And they're very nice people, and they're very ambitious. But that's how you learn things. And
It's true.
but you gotta always know what you can lose and get an idea. And the other thing is, you can win much more than you think.
Okay, you can win it much more than you think.
You can. It happens.
Okay.
I mean, my father loved them dearly, but for him to bet his life on me was such an outrageously silly bet. But all my friends who did well in school, I went to a high school where there were a lot of very smart kids. Not particularly, they just happened to be in that neighborhood, Jews and Italians. And and there's a board. When you walk in, somebody put of outstanding graduates. Okay. And my name is up there.
Okay.
I'm sitting next to a guy, looks very not, you know, he's sitting like, he looks like, he's a nice looking guy, but he looks like a very religious guy.
Okay.
He is one of the top experts in geographic outer space
Wow.
in the world.
Okay.
And
Wow.
and the principal was talking about him,
Uh-huh.
said something. He came to class and he read his books. Teachers complained.
Mm.
He told the teachers, leave him alone. Just do not bother him.
Mm.
Just leave him alone.
Okay.
He'll do well.
Read his books.
When they talked about me,
Uh-huh.
I said, frankly, we did not think Larry would ever graduate. And I am sitting next to this guy.
Okay.
Can you imagine that? That's fucking amazing. I mean, and you never know how good things could happen. A friend of mine, very dear friend of mine, heard about this board, and he used to be a headhunter. So he wrote to school. He said, Larry Hite gives a lot of charity.
Okay. Yes.
Because basically you only need so much to live. Really. I mean, you can't wear two pair of pants. It's very uncomfortable. So, and there was. I mean, that guy is so much more important than me. It's like chalk and cheese, man.
Interesting. You say your objective is to make money, but I think at this stage of your life, you're thinking how to give away money.
Yeah, because I had an edge. I had a foundation, which meant I only had to put 5%. Here, I'll give you one other thing.
Yeah.
My wife's son went to MIT, and he knew other people who went to MIT, and they need masks. So they sat down. He sat down with certain people at MIT who knew him, right? He was a very smart guy. And what they could do, they figured out how to make these masks.
Okay.
And I gave them money, and they made 2,000 masks.
Okay.
And she did the whole thing.
Okay.
Think how many lives I've saved.
More than 2,000.
Who knows?
Yeah, we don't know the numbers because that is the impact. Yeah.
But the point is, one time I spent several years rescuing prisoners from dictatorships.
Okay. Other
And
countries.
only rescued scholars.
Okay.
And one guy was really interesting. He was a doctor. He also was one of the world's experts on Mediterranean diseases.
Okay.
Placed this guy in a university in Italy.
Okay.
He saved 1,000 people.
Yeah. So you impact his life and you impact many others' life.
Yeah, people who could really contribute much more than I could.
Yeah.
I know, I give to the Philharmonic, but the people at the Philharmonic are really smart.
Yeah.
And they're really, really, so I get to help people and I have very big payoffs.
Because you can.
Yeah. And I look for things. Does this start something? What could happen? Because I'm one of those people that the dream really happened.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I put my trading now into my foundation, which pays far less taxes than I do. And we did that. So look, I'm an ordinary guy.
Mhm.
Some way, maybe subordinary. Certainly, most of the things I did as a child, I was subordinary. I thought if I could just get to normal, it would be like a hero to me. But this is what you could do with money. You can not control, you can help a lot of people. And, I don't know where this was taken, but yeah, it's the book and it tells my life story for my thing. And what I did now, I didn't report it, but this.
Oops.
Thank you very much for having me.
Yeah.
And I'm sure I'm going to get to Asia. I'm
Yeah.
going to have the pleasure of meeting you. And
Yeah.
it was very good.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your time. Thanks for having this interview.
Hello?
Yep.
I can't hear you anymore.
You can hear me, yeah? Thank you so much.
And but
Yeah.
can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank
It
you.
was a pleasure, and I hope to meet you. Bye.
All right. Thank you. Bye.
She said,
Thank you.
have them pick it up and leave it downstairs. She'll have someone pick it up.